this is the die set that I am going to be using. You can see here that they've created a stepper card with colour, and you can absolutely do that. It comes with instructions on how to set it up for this way. I, however, have done it slightly different, and I will explain as I go along. I think sometimes with these dies you can be a bit off put because, oh, can I colour in? Well, I've shown you here, you can just do it in silhouette and it looks equally as fantastic. So the other dies we use is the Elizabeth Craft Small Poinsettia, just for a little decoration, and the sentiment is a Creative Expressions Festive Collection, Merry Christmas. Okay, so we'll put those to one side for the moment. I have already cut down my base card. So this is the length of an A4 and it's 7 inches wide. I have my measurements here, that's why I keep looking that way, just so I make sure I get this correct. So the length of an A4 sheet cut down to 7 inches wide. And then we're going to score. So we are going to score 3.5 inches. Yeah. And then I'm going to turn the thing the whole way around, and then we are going to score at 1 inch, at 2 inches, at 3.25, and at 4.5. Yeah. Okay. So that's all of the scoring, and then we'll see how that folds up to make our card. So these two bits here are going to make this first stepper. So this needs to be folded this way in a mountain fold. And then we need to do a valley fold. And then another mountain fold. Excuse me. And then back that way for a valley fold. So those are our steppers at the front. And then this part folds over so that our card will stand up like so. Hopefully you can see that from the top. So we've got our steps at the front and then our card so that it will stand a bit like a tent fold. So that's our base card done, and we can put that to one side for now. Our next job then is to cut the pieces that we need. So I'm just going to find, those are the dies. Now what you need to make sure is that you have a piece of card that is at least the width of this. Doesn't matter if it's bigger, but it needs to be at least the same width as the stepper card, so which was 7 inches. And these dies are actually 7 inches across. Now, the way I've been cutting them is to make sure I have a fair bit of excess underneath. That way I can trim it. If you pre-cut it, and then you if you haven't got enough, then you're a bit stuck. So I always tend to cut this and then trim afterwards. So I'm going to take this down. Now I find also it's a good idea to not only tape on this part, but actually, because these little bits have a tendency to wiggle a bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape. I say a little bit, that's rather a lot of tape, but you understand what I mean. I'm going to put a bit of tape there and a bit of tape there. Okay, now it's best to put these through one at a time to make sure you get even pressure along the dies, because it is much better to put these dies in this way rather than this way. It just puts more pressure into the smaller amount of points that it's got to cut. Okay, I'm going to put our plastic and our magnetic and our top plate, and we're going to feed that through. You can emboss these. I'm not going to just for the sake of time. There are some bits on the dies that we might even get through with this pressure that will emboss. So for example, on this one, if I take it out, I can show you. There are some stars. Ooh, sorry, Gemini plate nearly went for a walk off the end of the table. There are some stars that that emboss the. Now that's interesting. That's because I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm sorry, my fuzzy head. I'm thinking, where have the stars gone? That's because they're not cut out. They're on here. They are embossed. If you can, if I, and here as well, just might be able to catch that. You can put it through again if you want a deeper emboss, but what we need with the silhouette, that's going to be enough. So I'm going to put this die to one side. I have already cut the other two so that because it's exactly the same process, you need to make sure you have enough at the bottom and then you stick it down. So let me put that to one side. So I have already been ahead and cut the other two so that you have the fireplace with the chair, you have the little boy with the parcels, and now we have the girl with the tree. So it's now a case of making sure you cut these to fit the steps. The fireplace is going to sit at the back, so I've cut that so that it will sit just proud of this step here. Now I know I'm showing you black on black, so bear with me one moment and I will put something in to help you. That's there. When I put the step on, it's just shy of the step here. And then our young lad is at the front, so he needs to fit completely on that step. And now we need to work out how we're going to cut this young lady, because obviously we don't want her right up there. So I'm going to just open this out, and then I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to mark it with my pencil just at the bottom here. So we're going to cut to a depth of here so that she sits in. Now I shouldn't need to cut the width because we cut our piece of card to 7 inches and the width of our card is 7 inches. So we're going to get our trimmer. And we are going to up at the top, find our little mark, make sure it's really level. She should now, out the way, she should now slot into that little bit there. Okay, so we've got all our silhouette parts cut out, but obviously we want to make them stand out. So what I've used some Creative Expressions Foundations Cream Card, and I've used some foundations Rich Red. Now you can, if you've got Christmas papers or papers that look like wallpaper or carpet, then you can use those as well. It doesn't matter. You can use whatever you like. So I have used the red. Bear with me a moment. Is it in the back here? Oh, it's here. Here we go. So I have cut some strips so that they fit onto here. Again, you might only have plain card. You could always run this through an embossing folder. Now that's not that one because that's too small. So this is the one for here. And then this will be the one for here. We're going to stick those in a moment. Okay. The other thing that we have is the piece of card to stick on the back. And I've cut it just smaller so we still get a nice black outline, so it gives it that contrast against the beautiful cream. So we're going to just stick these together. Bear with me. I'll see if my glue is working today. Oh yes, it looks like it's going to play today. Just looking to see what side I might have a pencil mark on, because I'm very good at putting the pencil mark face up. So that's one. And we're just going to stick that one on to there. And then we're going to stick this one on here. Now, oh, I see, there you go. I've got pencil mark facing up. Let's just get my little rubber. These dies are obviously designed to be edgeables and to be used as a group, but you don't need to. And there will be a video that we recorded this morning going up on the website sometime next week that shows how to use, again using silhouettes, but how to use the little girl on her own to make a Christmas card, and how to use the little boy on his own to make a birthday card. So look out for that video if you're looking for an alternative way to use these dies. It's always great when you can use them in several ways. You need to stick this piece of background in. And I'm just going to put it there. Okay, now next thing we need to do is to slot these in. So these should just sit nicely. And as you can see, it means that we have, because we made them stand a little bit proud, and I don't think I did, then they're going to show, sorry, made that one sound a little bit proud. This one, because it fits on that step and it's a bit higher than this step, it shows. Okay, so let's stick these ones in. You have to excuse, my brain is a little bit fuzzy today, along with my blocked nose. Oh, an itch, that doesn't help either. Okay, so this one is going to slot into there, and that's going to stick back against the cream. Now, with the others, and I made this mistake when I did it the first time, you don't need to put any glue now on the girl or the tree. You only need to put glue here. This one, because it's stuck against the background, you did need glue, but this one's literally just glue on to this base strip, which is going to just slot in there. Right, and same here, this one. Now, you're wondering about the measurements of those red strips. Well, this first one is an inch, because that's what we did our first score on. If you remember, we did 1 inch and 2 inches to make that first one, and then I think that one would then work out as 1.25 inches. Okay, for that one there. So, and then this one's just a little bit further up. You can measure that when you cut it. Okay, so that's our base card. And what we're going to do now is we're going to I've already cut the Merry Christmas because that's straightforward, but we're going to just whoops, I'm going to bring that down here. I've already cut the Merry Christmas, which we'll put on in a moment, but we're going to have a look at this poinsettia die and how to assemble that. Okay, so you will need to cut this a few times. Bear with me, I've just tipped up on my leaves, all in the bottom of my box. Doesn't help. You're going to need to cut it a few times, depending on how big you want your poinsettia. So the dies that come in this set, you've got the base, you've got 4 sort of graduated leaf sizes, and then you've got this tiny little one which creates all these little bits for the center. Now, for here, I've got 1 of the base in black and 2, I think, in red. So I'm going to cut, I've already got 1 in red in there, so I'm going to cut another 1 in red. I've got my little bit of red card here. And I need some more of the leaves in red, so we'll just put these on as well. Okay. And then I'm going to cut, I need a tiny bit of this piece of card, some more of the little dots to put in the middle. I do have some cut, but they are great escape artists. There you go, you can see. So I'll cut a few more. Excuse me, I shouldn't look like that. It's only me touching it. They are a bit of an escape artist, so we're going to cut a few more just to make sure that we have enough. Okay, put you to one side, and we'll get the tape out again. If you do have any questions, please do type them into the comments, and Dean will have a look at them, and we will see if we can get them answered. And even if you've got no questions, please just do say hi so we know that you're out there. It's always nice to know that somebody is watching. I do feel anyway like I'm talking just to Dean, but hopefully there's some of you out there listening or even watching it on a repeat. Okay, so we're going to put those onto our board. We need a little bit of a die cut there, our magnetic, and we need our top, and we're just going to run those. Okay, now I'm going to tip those out. See, I've got our Merry Christmas already cut. And then we're going to have a look at how to assemble this. I think the thing with that poinsettia is not so much the assembling, it's cutting, and the thinner card you use. So if you've got some really nice, or even like papers, you can multi-cut these. Because I'm using the foundations card, it's a bit heavier, and it will just about, but it's pushing it to try and cut 2 layers at a time. And then I find assembling these quite therapeutic, really. Oh, where's Miss Hokey tool? There. I'm going to put those dies in there so I don't lose them. That one out, that one out, and I'm going to put those in there so I don't lose them. I'll put the dies in there for the time being. And then I think I might have put too much tape on this, as whether we even find it again. There it is. Oh, and they're all still in. So I'm just going to, and I would suggest that you pop these, like I'm doing, actually into something so that you don't, everything's sticking to me, you don't lose them, okay, because they are teeny, 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 tiny. Okay, so they're in there. We'll pop that die in too, back in my box. So now it's a case of assembling this. So I'm just going to take my bone folder. There's no need to do any sort of flower forming. And I am literally just going to just shape these a little bit. Doesn't really take much, just one little swipe on each. And I'm going to do that on all of the base parts that I'm using. Oh, now I'm holding it in the middle because those little bits are quite thin, and what you don't want to do is to be pulling, because I'm pulling quite hard with my bone folder. You don't want to be pulling and yanking them off. Okay, so we'll just finish with this one. Okay, and I'm just going to have a quick, not like overly, but just a quick kind of sort of sizes. I've got lots of big ones and then loads of the smaller ones there, right? So that we know what sizes. Now, I have demonstrated this die before. I don't know whether it was on a live or on a video, but I do like to use glue gel. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto just a piece of card, because glue gel's quite sticky, and it just saves me having to clean up underneath, because inevitably this is going to come off. So I've got my black base, and I want to make sure I can see my black base. So I'm just going to arrange my next layer so that the black leaves are quite visible, and another little bit in there, and again we'll go, where should we go? We'll go this way, I think, with this one. Just offset slightly, but so that we can still see the black. And then Excuse me. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a dome of glue, and then we're just going to start putting these in. I'm just going to do these ones with my fingers, just pushing them down. I may not need to, well, I may not use all of them. Probably don't need to use all of them. It's up to you really as to how big, how sort of full you want your poinsettia to be. Okay, and yeah, I bought, it was my mum's birthday this past week, and I always thought poinsettias were just red, but I found a pink one, which I thought was lovely. So you don't have to do it in traditional colours. You can do it whatever colour you want. So there we go. So there's my big leaves. I'm not going to put any more of those on. I am going to get a little bit more glue gel, and then I'm going to take some of the slightly smaller ones, and we're going to put those into that glue gel a little bit. Ooh, push that in. Now, in theory, in reality, if I was doing this at home, I would pre-make these because they are, this really does need time to dry. But hey ho, it's we will cope with this, and we will put it on in a moment. So those are all the leaves that I'm going to put on, and I've kind of left a little bit of. No, I'm going to put one more. I am going to put one more. I'm going to put it. If it doesn't escape me, in there. There we go. Right. So let's just remove those so that they are out of the way. And now, oh look, you see, look, they've all gone walkies. I am going to get my my little tool that I use for putting embellishment. Excuse me, embellishments on. So I have a little bit of glue there. I'm not going to add any more. I don't really need much more. And I am literally just going to push those now onto the top. And I think using the cream card is a really, really nice contrast to the red and the black here. So yeah, going a couple more. It will only stick where the glue is, so I will probably have to leave it at that because I didn't put any more glue. So, right, I'm just going to put that to one side to just allow it a little few seconds to try and dry. The lid on the glue, and we're going to put our sentiment on to our card. So I'm going to grab this. I've got a piece of card here that I'm going to use to blot off some of the ink. Oh, and I can see that I've got a couple of little bits still in there, so I'm just going to pop those out, and then I'm going to grab hold of it with my tweezers. Oh. And I've decanted a little bit of the glue into a smaller bottle so it's easier to handle. And the blobs out of this it is a fine nozzle. It's not probably the finest one that's on the market, but it is definitely gives you a lot more control than straight out of the glue pot. And that's mostly because I keep getting the glue pot blocked and then sticking my pokey tool down the end. So the hole in that has got bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's probably my own fault. But we're going to put Black Merry Christmas down first to give us a nice little drop shadow. And then we're going to do the cream one in the same way, just little dots of glue. Please excuse me. Hoping that my voice will hold out till the end today. Otherwise I'll be sort of just having to point at things. Let's hope not. There we go. And then I'm going to put this, and then that gives a really nice pop at the front of the cream. Okay, move that to one side. Now, like I said, this is where at home, I would have left that to dry. I'm going to just put the lid back on this, otherwise this one's going to clog up on me. So I've got it on this piece of card so I can lift it, this glue. I'm going to put just like on the corner of the mantelpiece here, or fireplace. And then I'm going to see if we can transfer it off of here. Oh, look at that. There we go. I'm not going to fiddle around with it any more than that because it is still wet and it does still need to dry, so it won't kind of move. But there we go. There is our stepper card. If you just bear with me a moment, I'm just going to disappear off camera for 2 seconds. And I'm just going to get the card that I've made on the video to show you. Here's one of them. Just to show you. So this is using the little boy just flat on a card with a background and a happy birthday. So these dies are really versatile. So there will be a video showing you how to use them in this way coming soon.